Welcome back to Mindful Traders Daily Recap. Today is September 15, 2020. We're halfway through September, so let's just get into it. We'll go over GJ first, then GA, and then GBPCAD. GJ was the cleanest. This is the setup I took, and we'll break it down exactly what my thought process was, and and why I took this trade I did take, okay? So when we look on 4 hour, price has been ranging between these two levels. 100 pip range, 136.5 to 135, okay? 100 pip range, and we're trending down, right? So you know that price is just playing range to range, doing range playing here. So yesterday, on the 14th, price pushed up to 136.5, rejected it. And when I say higher time frame levels reject, we'll go to the next higher time frame level, which was 135.5, okay? At, what is this? This is 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern. So into Asian session, price came down, tapped 135.5 daily support. And you see we went from creating lower highs and lower lows to now in lower time frame creating higher lows and higher highs, right? You see this? Okay. So this was a big key indicator that we were going to go bullish in London because price rejected this. Price rejected, every time we rejected it previously, we went up 100 pips, okay? Like rejected it here almost, went up, back there, rejected here, went up. So this was a key indicator that we were going to push up. All right. What have I always said? We're going to take entries on the liquidity grab, okay? So all we were waiting for was, okay, we see price made a high. Price made a high in the lower time frames, but we're going to wait for it. What's next to come in a bullish market structure? A higher low. So we're going to wait for that. The reason I knew why it was going to be at 0.800, first of all, GJ loves these levels, right? And you see these wicks here, 1, 2, 3, these 3 wicks. So they clearly mean something. They clearly meant that price broke up, retested, then continued, right? So what I did here, I drew this level. 135.8, and I was watching it during London. So let's go in. This is what I mean. Price will always do a liquidity grab and actively react to the levels. You see how it literally tapped 135.800 before creating a higher low here and then going up. So let's check that out in 1 minute, and I'll tell you exactly how I knew. So in the 1 minute time frame, you see price did push up in pre-London, 2:30 a.m. we pushed up here, but it then failed to keep pushing up, right? And I made a PDF yesterday, which I'm not really releasing to the public, but it was more for just myself and other people who are close to me. So price, not enough order flow, couldn't push up, create a lower high. This doesn't mean that we're going to head down. This just means there's not enough order flow in the market at current time. There's not enough buying pressure in the market at current time to keep pushing up. So what did we do? We came back to this area where we had the wicks. Tapped exactly, okay? Cool, let's say you missed this entry, which I missed at 135.800 because I was waiting. Missed that, but then price created a higher low. Wow, now market structure is shifting, right? We went from doing this in pre-London, right? Doing that in pre-London to now creating a higher low. So I entered here at 135.85 and my stop loss was at 135.78. Tight stop loss because I knew what my risk and my reward were, and I exited at 136.32 up here. So as you can see, that's a reasoning. And if we look on 5 minute, you see how it was perfect. Had the low, created a higher low, created a higher high. Now we created a higher low, and now we create a higher high, right? So simple zone to zone play. Although we didn't tap exactly at 136.500, we got 7 pips close to it, and then price came back down. But this was my trade for the day. This is my first trade of the week, and I'm up 7.3% on it. So 30 to 47 pips. And I had a stop loss, a 7 pip stop loss. So you see, it's the accuracy. It's the risk reward was 1 to 6.6. Amazing. So these entries are very possible to get. You just need to know what you're looking for. And you see, like, this is perfect. And even before, you see, when we rejected 135.500 earlier on the 13th, we went up, created a higher low exactly at 135.8. So looking left, I realized that this is a good place to create a higher low. And then we went up and continued, right? So same thing happened, went up, rejected, created a higher low at 135.8, and then continued. So that's GJ. Let's look at what happened in New York. So price started consolidating, okay? Price consolidating. You can draw your consolidation box. As soon as this 30-minute candle closed, you could have taken a sell, and let's check out how that was possible. Or you could have taken a sell once price broke below 136.200. You know these levels work, 136.200. It lower time frame retested, because now you're just like, okay, we're doing this. You're like, okay, maybe we'll push up. Unable to push up, right? Price, not enough buyers in the market to keep pushing up to 136.500, but we're close enough. And now price is reacting as a resistant. Okay, now we break down, we create a low, right? What's next? We create a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, reach 135.8 again, create a new low, lower high, retest 135.8, back down to 135.5. So you see, from yesterday, level to level, 90 pips up, 90 pips down, right? So it's just, you just got to watch lower time frame market structure and watch accordingly and see how price react. So as soon as, even like, once this 15-minute candle broke, let's say you had your consolidation box, so you had your consolidation box a bit lower, okay? So you know price is just consolidating. As soon as this 15-minute candle broke, you see how the next one retested, and it retested 136.200, which is a psychological level on GJ, 200, 500, 00, and 800. Create a lower high, perfect entries at lower high, continue down, could have had 40 pips here, and left a runner, and the runner would have reached another 70 pips, because 135.5 was going to get hit. And this is what I mean. We were just consolidating here to generate order flow to push down in New York. This was the play for London, and then we saw a possibility of reversal, and this was a play for New York. Okay, sessions don't always have to move in the same thing. Just play ranges as, just show what markets, play what market's showing you. Don't anticipate, oh, we're gonna break it, okay? Because it doesn't mean we will. Just use just do what the market is showing you, okay? All right. GBPAUD was clean at one point, and then it was just shit for the rest of the day. So I had a level here, this level right here. I drew this level because once GBP news came out positive and pre-London was showing bullish momentum, I was like, okay, we're gonna create a high low in the lower time frame and then continue up. So initially we tapped the zone, right? Rejected it. Failed to make a lower high, because remember, we're doing this right now. So it failed to make a lower high. Instead, it reached the previous lower high right here. So it reached that, and then instead of going back down, it created a higher low. So it created a higher low. You know, GBP news was all positive, right? So this higher low here was perfect for entries, and then it literally shot up. So if you did enter here on 15-minute, it looks a bit cleaner. Not the most ideal setup, but if you know what you're looking for in lower time frames, you could have 100% taken advantage of this. I was more focused on GJ because GJ was cleaner to me, but nevertheless, you would have had your entry. See, so this wasn't the greatest risk. It was still a good risk reward, 1 to 3.75, but the stop loss was a bit heavier, and you can see that price pushed up 70 pips before it came back down, pushed back up, right? So this was a move here. The only reason is because failed, made a new low, came back up, failed to make a lower low, right? So we create a higher low here. Higher low, you see, especially during session times, when you see price consolidating, creating higher lows, and look at 1 minute. 1 minute was even more evident. Look, 1 minute, okay. Low, higher low in lower time frame, higher high, higher low, right? And then another higher low, and then we continued up. So you see, bullish market structure rather than doing this which we were doing previously, then London volume started doing this. Okay, simple as that. 70 pips on here, around 50 pips on GJ, and then another 90 down. GBPCAD, same thing. GBPCAD did the same play. I had a little trend line here. Rejected this in Asian, and then price came back up, and we kept rejecting this trend line. Also, I'm just going to remove this for now. Okay. I had this. I posted this on my story. 1 second. I posted this on my story, okay? Essentially what intraday was showing was, okay, we had a low here, another higher low, a higher low, we create a higher high, okay? If we were to create a higher low, you were going to fill this range up here, this buy range, right? Because that's market structure. If we create a higher low, what's next? We're either going to retest that high, fill the range, or create a higher high, right? So essentially I had this trend line, and then price broke above it prior to pre-London, broke above it, came down to retest. Let's check out how these retests are. Okay, retesting, retested, okay, pushed up, not enough order flow before London open, so we came back down. Remember, all GBP pairs did this. All GBP pairs pushed up, created a high, and then came back down to grab liquidity. So created a high, came back down, retested 1.6900 psychological level, round number, retested and pushed up and essentially filled the range. So best entries here would have been either right here and take profit. You could have taken profit here, or you could have taken profit at the level, and your stop loss would have been GBPCAD. I like having a 15 pip stop loss because GBPCAD moves a bit more. As you can see, this did a 70 pip move, while GJ from here to here did a 60 pip move. So it does move a bit more, and it is a little more volatile. But 90 pips on GC, buy range was filled. As you can see, this was the target if we create a higher low. And we went from doing this in the lower time frames to then shifting up, breaking through the trend line, creating a higher low after we created the low. And then we made a higher high, another higher low, and then a higher high. Okay, so you see how this buy range was filled, this area right here we came back to, because intraday we were creating higher highs, higher lows, right? Higher high, higher low. Once this higher low was made and you saw this consolidation here and price in lower time frame making, shifting market structure to bullish, then you knew that we were going to continue up with London volume. Okay, so I just want to map something out on GC of what we can expect or anticipate, and we'll just be following and seeing how these levels are playing out. Okay, this is a trend line I have right now, okay, on GC, sorry. So either we do something like this, then we continue up, we can buy here, buy on the break of this market structure, right? Or something like this happens. We break down, retest, and then continue down to this level. Because we are trending down, essentially this might just be a consolidation phase, order flow generating for a further push down, because our analysis from the week we're still expecting a push down, right? We're at the level that we were expecting to be at. So it's possible that we do create a lower high here before continuing down. But it is also possible that we continue up. And if we do break through this market structure, we can expect a push up and maybe create a possible high up here. You can get it on the retest. So don't just be focused on the sell bias, okay? React to what the market is showing you. These are just possible scenarios that can play out, right? But yeah, that's it for GBPCAD. Clean level to level plays, right? Rejected trend line, went to the top, filled this buy range, rejected here, and then, so. And if we do break this and we go switch to bearish intraday structure, like how right now it's bullish, then we can look for sells and aim for our target down here. Okay. Yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching. This is Mindful Trader Daily Recap on September 15, 2020. Hope y'all are having a good week. I've only taken one trade so far and looking for one or two more for the rest of the week. All right. Take care.